Hey everyone, this is Ari from Enlance Marketing. And today we're having a special guest, Mr. Wraptors, the biggest and the baddest,
I like the intro. That was the first one. I like it.
the king of entrepreneurs. So if you
Yes.
guys don't know who he is,
Yes.
then you're probably living under a rock. But this is
Ooh.
the biggest
Yes.
vinyl rap guy in the entire industry.
Yes.
Global.
Biggest.
Biggest.
I like that. That is true. That is a fact.
We got 16 locations
Worldwide.
counting.
Yes.
It's growing every day.
Every day.
So for those who don't know, what you do and who
Yes.
you are, just give a little bit of introduction about that.
Cool. They call me Mr. Raptors. I am the biggest in the rap world. Not the rap world when you rap, but I actually take care of the vehicles that you can see behind us. We got 16 locations worldwide. We're right now leaders in the industry. We set the trends. We set the topic. We set the color scheme on the streets. And if you guys don't know, make sure you guys follow us. Raptors Inc. worldwide. That's who we are. Raptors Mafia. That's us.
That's you.
Yes.
All right, so we're here with the entrepreneur of entrepreneurs. Man that started from nothing and built an empire for himself.
Yes, sir.
The empire, some would say,
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about, the journey, where you were when you decided Raptors is what you wanted to do.
That's a good question, man. I mean, I started, from humble beginnings. We started in the streets, and growing up, having a lot of ambition, having a lot of drive, and not having the support system, not having the internet to look up to some certain individuals, such as you got a chance to kind of do a background check for me very quickly, right? You can go on Google, go on YouTube, find out who I am. We didn't have that. We had the streets, we had the gangsters, and then we had the entrepreneurs. So we had those guys to look up to. So I had a lot of drive, a lot of ambition, but no money to kind of support my system, no money to support my ways. So I really wanted to take care of my mom, take care of my well-being, I guess you want to say, and kind of climb up in a ladder of success. I didn't know where I wanted to be. I didn't know where and how I'm going to get there, but I knew that the place I was in, a very dark place, I knew that wasn't the place for me. So, I started hustling, doing a little, 1, 2 here and there, opening little businesses, flipping them, failing, making millions of dollars, losing tens of thousands of dollars. And kind of just climbing up a ladder and learning my ways. Again, I didn't have a phone call to call the emergency line and say, "Hey, Ma, I need 10,000. Can you help me out?" No, I kind of had myself in the mirror. I had to look myself and focus where I was going. Journey wasn't easy, I'll tell you that. To get to the Raptors position where I'm at now, it took a lot of failures, a lot of mistakes, a lot of stumbling across, a lot of individuals that backstabbed me, just a lot of pain points.
Yeah.
Right. So, now that I'm here, living proof and living the success and living my dream, it just sometimes feels unreal. It feels completely unbelievable.
100%. Is that something you saw in your head before it even came?
Yes.
You saw the cars, you saw the lifestyle, and then it just
and again,
through?
there you go. You see it, right? So, it starts with the vision, it starts with the ambition, it starts with the drive, it starts with the mindset, it starts with, feeling inside your body, inside your soul, inside your heart. That's you got to get there. You're going to get there eventually. You get a lot of times, we talked off topic, where a lot of times you're going to get parents, manipulate you into situations saying, listen, you got to go to school, you got to go to college, you got to do this, you got to do a corporate world. You can't, but at times you got to bet on yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So you got to believe in your journey. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your vision and kind of just go at it.
100%.
Right?
You built this empire.
Yes.
You got these 2 beautiful cars here. One Yaris, one Aventador.
Yes.
Many more other cars.
I mean, I got a lot. Yeah, we got a lot of toys. Yes.
Yeah, so Raptors, it's a rapping company. A lot of people think anybody can do that. What's one thing you think that a lot of people don't see that you guys do differently? It's not on camera, but it's a big factor into the success.
100%. Yeah. I mean, rap world became very saturated. It became, a lot of guys are doing it in the backyard, in their garages, whatever the case is. I mean, we built a culture, we built a lifestyle brand where, it's very easy to separate us from everybody else. We're the leaders in the industry, how we do designs, right? You can see behind me. We're the leaders in the industry of how fast we do a turnaround on our vehicles, the crazy quality of work that we do. So not everybody can really sustain that. Obviously, sustaining 16 locations, that separates everything, right? I mean, people do have 3, 4 locations, but for us to go globally and say separate ourselves being global dominant brand is really what, sets us apart. Going through 10 years now in the making, we haven't closed one single location.
Yeah.
Right. And, to say that you can say that proudly with your chin up high, because not everybody can do 3, 4, 5 year, 10 years sustaining all the location. That's very difficult.
Yeah,
right.
It's crazy to be at the top for 10 years.
Right.
Maintain that.
It is. Yeah. It's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful journey. 100%.
Yeah, you're a Canadian entrepreneur.
Yes.
I think you went from being from the GTA to now going all over Canada to now globally. You think there were any challenges, from going from GTA to Canada to globally?
Good question. Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of challenges. I mean, even the psychology of business in different cultures and different parts of the world is very different, right? So the way Canadians handle business and conduct business is very different to how they handle in United States. And United States is humongous. The way they handle in New York and Miami is very different as well. Us going over to Cape Town, South Africa, it's a huge cultural shock, right? It's a completely different market. It's a completely different culture. There's definitely a lot of challenges. You got to be focused. You got to be a good leader for your brothers to follow you in the right direction and make sure they're able to, take on the tasks and really just be motivated every day. Because, you do lose a lot of track when the money gets low, when troubles come along your way and you get a little bit distracted. So being focused for 10 years and sustaining it is challenging.
You think that authenticity you have as an individual, it passes through everywhere you go?
That's good. I like that. Yeah, definitely. So, being humble, being religious, and being just a good human, it definitely puts you apart from the rest, right? Because a lot of guys get humbled down along the journey, and a lot of guys become very cocky. When they attain these little things, they become, I'm the man of the hour, I'm the man of the fucking year. No, man, we're very humble. We accept everybody and everyone through those doors. It doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you drive or what you do. We kind of just take on the challenges.
Yeah, and I think you're the only entrepreneur, I think, in the GTA that's very open about failure. You've openly said you failed a lot.
Many times.
You overcame a lot.
Yes.
And, you've also said you're a very religious man.
I am.
So you think your religion, your faith had a lot to do with your success?
I do. Because, for a man in my position and a man to go through the fire that I had to go through, it wouldn't make sense for me not to be religious. It wouldn't make no sense for me to be where I'm at for so long if I wasn't religious, because I wasn't designed to win. Everything was, every odds was against me. So for me to be on top and attain these things and sustain these things. One thing is to attain a Lamborghini. Other things to sustain a Lamborghini. One thing is to attain a business. The other thing is to sustain it and flourish it, right? So God has every part of my journey, and He really did help me to get to this position. And failures, obviously, those are not losses. Those are lessons, right? So those lessons, where some of them are very, very, very hard. At certain times, I didn't think I would be able to climb back out of it. Put me in a greater position. It really just humbled me down, right? It told me that it's not all about this, right? It's not all about this. It's really about giving back, right? About having young entrepreneurs like yourself sitting down and really spitting the game and helping you get to the next level without stumbling down and hurting yourself, right? If I can help you not hurt yourself and help you, climb to your success a lot faster, why not?
Yeah,
right. A lot of guys gatekeep. A lot of guys gatekeep a lot of success and failures. They don't want people to know. They want them to suffer and not get to the next chapter. I want you to, express your success.
Yeah, I think you express yourself very openly.
Yes.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs are very closed-minded in the sense they want the flashy cars, they want the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris,
right?
But they just have those cars. I think you use your cars. You use your wealth and you turn into a marketing strategy. You expand your
100%.
Expand the Raptors brand. Like,
you're definitely
these two cars right here, like, they're beautiful cars, and you use them as a
marketing
tool to bring Raptors to get
to certain doors.
Level.
That's right. Every car has a purpose. Every car opens up doors to different different opportunities. A lot of these cars, I'd like to see my guys drive them. All the guys that work for me, they got to drive all those cars, even though how hard, they don't know how hard it was for me to get those cars, but at the same time I want them to experience and know that it's, it's possible. And you're right, yeah, they are marketing tools. They definitely open up a lot of great opportunities for me, but at the end of the day, these are all materialistic things. These are just trophies. These are the things that I can validate, I am strong enough to be able to afford these things, because not everybody can do it, right? Not everybody can have 3 Rolls Royces. Not everybody can have 2 Lamborghinis and everything else I have in between, right? And it shows you that, that I'm strategic, I'm smart, how I maneuver and what I do. There's a reason for the color schemes that you see on the cars. There's a pink and white. These are our colors. Before we started with the gold theme and the black. Now, we're trying to bring the Miami flavor, Dubai flavor to GTA. Right.
I think you're the entrepreneur of entrepreneurs, right?
Yes.
And a lot of kids nowadays, they try something and they fail.
Right.
They try again and they fail.
Right.
I think you probably failed more times than they've even tried.
100%.
In total, right? So for those kids that keep failing, over and over again, what would you say to them?
Listen, the right opportunity is on the other side of the failure, right? So if you can continue showing God that you're motivated, you're strong enough, and you dominate, He'll open up doors for you, right? Certain doors do need to be closed and you just got to redirect your energy to somewhere else. But if you keep failing, that's just part of the lesson. That means something you missed along the way where you haven't learned yet. So you got to continue finding in those losses the little secret sauce, because that's where the success lies, right? So when you fail many times, you got to look within. Why did I fail? What happened? And then learn from those mistakes and climb up higher. A lot of guys, they fail and they start blaming. Oh, it was Joe, it was Mom, it was Steve, it was Bob. Everybody's pointing fingers, right? Look internally into yourself and find out why did you fail? What was the lesson behind that failure that you needed to learn to climb to a next level? That's all it is, right? So I love. I got into a position and into a certain age in my life where the losses I now enjoy, the pain I enjoy, because those are the growing pains. Those are the lessons and not losses, where I can understand, okay, I really gotta master this particular part of my life to get to a next level. And I'm dealing with that every single day. I'm not in the position where I'm not, not taking losses still. I'm now, because the money that I attain, the losses are greater. But again, I always preach to my guys, where don't point fingers at everything else. Point fingers inside yourself. Find out why this is happening to you. What did you not learn? Learn a lot along the lessons and along the journey that you continue falling down and hurting yourself. Learn it, become better, and move on forward.
Take accountability for your own actions, right?
Yes.
So a lot of entrepreneurs, people in general, they see you 16 locations, but you're still very hands-on with the company.
Yes.
So very, very hands-on. I think a lot of people, when they get to your level, your status, they take a step back. But you're still very hands-on. Why is that, as an entrepreneur?
Can you call me a control freak? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It just, again, when you have the business is your heart. So the pulse of it, right? You know how fast it beats, how slow it beats. So you have to step in certain times when the heart's beating too fast. Okay, let's slow down. Let's find out, what's going on. If the heart is beating slow, the business is dying down. What is really going on? So it's very important to be hands-on, not wrapping cars and taking cars apart, but hands-on in operation. Hands-on on your people, hands-on on your destiny, on your journey, where you're taking the business, what's going on, what is the psychology behind the business, what is the motive behind it, where are we taking this, where are we going in the next 3, 4, 5 years, right? Making sure you guys are healthy, meaning the mindset is strong, they're activated, they're working hard, their vision is there with you along the way, where you're aligned together. So there's just the hands-on, it means a little bit different in my opinion, right? It's not going mopping the floors and doing the most. It's really just behind the scenes, pushing the brand to a next level.
Yeah, guiding everybody in your team.
That's it.
Because you're a leader now.
Exactly.
The leader of leaders in the wrapping industry.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have 16 locations, right? So each location probably has a manager, right? Do you think that makes your life a lot easier? Do you think it's still the same amount of work as it was 10 years ago?
Yeah. You know what? It's getting a little bit difficult. When you're young, such as yourself, you have a little more energy. Right now, I'm more strategic, so I'm not as energetic and ready to take on the task. Now I'm more strategic. I think strategically what the next move is going to be. Each location has its either manager or owner operator, right? So all these locations, some of them are self-operating by a new owner. So what I do is I license each location for about 250,000 starting, and it goes up to $400,000-500,000. Where a person invests, they open up a location, I build it out for them, I give them the sauce, I give them the strategy, I give them my support, and we kind of go together, right? So is it easier? Yeah, I mean it is when the guys such as yourselves mindset is focused. They're strong, they're energetic, they're listening, they're able to understand the lessons that I'm giving them, guidance I'm giving them. Some guys are just sitting. They'll open up a little hookah, they'll smoke and wait for the business and Raptors money to start coming from the clouds. That's not the case. You got to put in work, right? I can give you my name, which is Raptors. I can give you my support. I can give you my system. I can activate you and I can load you up. But if you're not willing to put in the work, you're not getting anywhere, bro. It just sounds and looks nice, right? Yeah. I can give you a beautiful shop, but you got to bring in clients. Raptors just got to, that blue check mark, that verification saying, every car that's going to come out of a shop is going to be verified, is going to have good quality, support, warranty, and everything else in between. But at the same time, you got to put in work. You got like everything else in between, right? You can't expect having abs and not going to the gym. Machine can do a little work if you do the little ab machine, but you got to really put in work. Your diet got to be on point. You got to exercise and everything else else.
Yeah, 100%. You can't get nothing from doing nothing.
That's
right?
it.
So
that's it.
You're a visionary.
Yes.
I think you think 10 steps ahead. A lot of people think 2-3 steps. You think 10 steps ahead, right?
Yes.
Like how does that vision, of Raptors, the idea, the colors, the vibrancy, especially in a day and age where everyone's so just dull, black, white, gray. Where does that come?
Again, that just comes inside you, right? It just comes to you having a vision, you understanding certain things, certain feelings. Again, me, it's hard to explain, but you can put me in any room and I can smell an opportunity. I can smell defaults in the company or the management. I can understand certain things. I make mistakes all the time, but more or less, more often is that I'm able to be in tune with the company and the vision, and I know how the market will react to it. So I just have those two senses, I guess you want to call it. Right,
100%. It just comes naturally over time,
yes,
right?
Organically, yeah.
So you being at the pinnacle, at the top of the top, right? You think like you had to give up something, you lost something on the way while getting there that a lot of people don't really see, because you have the cars, you have the chains, you got the lifestyle.
Yes.
You think there's something that a lot of people don't really understand? When you get to the top, you have to give something in return to get to where you are.
Everything has to give and take. 1,000%. I gave up a lot of free time. I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of friendships. I almost lost my wife and my kids because I was so dedicated and focused on the business. You lose freedom. I mean, you lose guarantee of income, right? Like if you work 9 to 5, you guarantee that paycheck. You're having a business is not guaranteed. You don't know what you got to go hunt to feed the rest of the crew. You got to go hunt to feed the family. So I gave up a lot of time, with watching my kids grow up. I gave up a lot of time, vacations and party and everything else. But to be honest, did I give up? I don't know, because I'm so passionate about business. I'm so passionate about this. I was just like a workaholic. I just love it so much, right? So giving up, I don't know if it's the right word, but I did sacrifice definitely, time with the loved ones, a lot of birthdays, a lot of time to myself, really.
Yeah.
Right.
So you and Mrs. Raptors, you guys always post yourself on social media, right?
Yes.
You guys are the couple of entrepreneurs, built this together. How does that support? Having someone there by your side. Does that really help you as an individual and as a business?
It's huge.
owner?
Yeah, that's a very good question, man. And having a right lady by your side is going to define your success, because a lot of these girls, and I have a lot of guys, young guys your age, come and talk to me, and I guide them in the right place where they need to be. Have girls that support their toxic lifestyle, where they sit and play video games, or they're smoking weed and not doing much with their life. Having a right girl to push you, but push you correctly, right? Because a lot of girls will push you to better themselves. Oh, I want a new purse. Go make more money, daddy. Go do this. Go do that, right? When a girl has the same vision and she trusts your leadership, you're unstoppable, right? But she has to feel it. A female has to feel within inside her body and her soul that you're the right and you're the chosen one to go and get it.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of guys, they're destined for success, but the girl won't believe it, so you'll fail. And a lot of times girls want to use the guys in their advantage, right? But if you're dominant and you're strong and you know where you're going and you can put that energy on her, she'll trust you and she'll make you better.
Yeah, 100%. You know, that was beautifully said.
Yes.
Right. So, you being an entrepreneur in Canada, you've always openly said, I saw one video on your TikTok, fuck Canada, right? So, a lot of kids, I think, especially in the GTA, we have a lot of talent, so much talent.
Yes,
I think more than anywhere else in the world.
Crazy.
But a lot of it goes overshone because of our country, how it is.
Yeah, man.
So, what do you think about that for kids trying to come up? People
it's unfortunate, bro, and I've seen this every day. It really, really hurts me, man, because even myself, like I worked so hard to build all this for so long, and now I'm getting, slapped every direction, from the economy to the government to the streets to everything else in between. It's really difficult. So, watching these young guys come up, knowing that their chances are so low to succeed nowadays, in a world where we're supposed to be flourishing and it's a lot more easier to become successful, it's very difficult because Canadian society is not made for entrepreneurs. Canadian society is made for blue collars. So you can pay your taxes, go drink your beer after 6 o'clock, watch TV, grow your belly, and maybe fly to Cuba or Dominican Republic for your $600 ticket once a year. That's where it's designed. It's not designed for motivated individuals to rise above, right? Again, it's a difficult topic, and one of my videos went viral. So many young entrepreneurs are suffering. A lot of businesses are closing down. I was just at the tattoo shop and talking to this young kid getting a tat. His mother is a mortgage agent, and one of the clients was trying to commit suicide because of she worked so hard all her life to buy this house. And now she's not able to pay mortgage. Yeah. Right. And it happens every single day. There's a lot of guys walking away from businesses, and off topic and off camera, like I've seen incidents where, a lot of these guys hurt themselves. They commit suicide. A lot of guys fleeing the country that they grew up, their family raised, and they built something so great. Now they're leaving everything behind and going to another country. It's a difficult thing to see, and unfortunately, it's not getting better. Yeah. And a lot of guys reach out to me and ask me, what do you do? I don't know. I don't have an answer, right? I've went to Miami. I've lived in Miami for 9-10 months. I've seen the world over there. Is it with the hype? Yeah, it's all with the hype. When the hype dies down, you got to go back to work. You got to go back to digging fucking shit and making money. But it's a lot easier. Yes, it is, right? The banking systems work for entrepreneurs. The government works for the entrepreneurs. And what I mean by that is that, you have leverages, you have people, banks are helping you to get credit card and loans and everything else in between, where you can, use that to better yourself and come up to a top a lot faster. Here, it's hard to get mortgages. It's hard to get loans. It's hard to open up businesses. Everything's against you. You want to go get a car? You're not getting a car unless you got a crazy perfect credit score and a co-signer. You're not getting a facility like this unless your bank statements are strong. If you just open a business, you can't get a freaking facility like that. Yeah. Because now, it's a new company. Well, where's the guarantee that you're going to succeed, right? In the United States, it's a lot easier, right? Their money talks. Here, paperwork talks.
Yeah, I think that's that's really affecting the youth in Canada, because if you go anywhere in high school now, kids are always fighting.
It's all right.
Because I think it's just how it is, our system now, right?
It's
so you being at the top, you've made it, you've overcame all that stuff. Even during COVID, I remember you donate money to charity to help those people. You're always giving back to the community. Like, why is that? Because a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't value that type of stuff. Once they made it, they made it. But you still keep in touch with people.
I mean, giving back is huge. It's important. If I have, I don't mind, and it doesn't have to be with charities. It's to the people I have around me and the people that, I constantly meet and whatever the case might be. Because I've been in that position. Yeah. I understand it. I know the feeling being there, being at the bottom. And I wish, maybe not. I wish somebody would help me, but at the same time, I don't, because I wouldn't be where I am, because I wouldn't build the character that I have now. But again, knowing that, the pain points are there, and watching the person or a company or somebody suffering, and if I know a quicker way to get to the top or fix your little problem, I'm willing to do that, right? Again, because I've been there and I understand it.
Yeah, so like 10 years from now, right?
Yeah.
You're known for a lot of things. Do you think you're going to be remembered as the guy who revolutionized the automotive industry in the GTA, or the guy that revolutionized how businesses are running, how social media marketing's running, Canada?
I hope so, man. I mean, listen, we've been doing this for a long time, but we changed the culture of the automotive industry. We changed the how it's perceived and how it looked at. Making the cool epoxy floors. Nobody had that back then. Nobody
Yeah.
did that. Nobody even experienced that. $60,000-$70,000 floors is not a joke. The lights that you see in the shop. Nobody had that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't cool. Being a shop wasn't cool. I wanted to have a facility where you can come in and be like, oh shit, this is crazy. From the cars to the smell to the facility to my guys to everybody dressed the way they dress, the way they look. I want everybody to correspond with my brand. So am I going to be left behind with a legacy and being known for something? I hope so. I mean, I'm not a cocky dude. Whatever the media showcases me and however people perceive me is in their own vibes, in their own tune. I'm really just here for the people. I'm here for the culture. I'm here to help people flourish. And I never have even a little bit of a bug inside me that can really wish anyone bad upon anyone that I came across. I really want everybody to succeed.
Yeah.
Right? It's just certain times, certain things, and the way business is conducted, I appreciate it or I don't. That's all it is, right? Either I'll leave you behind in the back and I'll never look back in my rearview mirror, or we're going to do business together and we're going to flourish together. That's it.
And that speaks a lot about you as an individual. I think
I
a lot of
appreciate
people
it.
they like to work with a lot of different people, try to get the cheaper option, but
That's
you
crazy.
value in quality,
Yes.
you value in work, and
Yeah.
it paid off in the
Yes.
long run, right?
Yes. And you just grabbed on the right topic. Everybody always trying to get a little discount, a little something, but why not build with the guy you started with?
Yeah.
Right. And like, even, very quick topic, we can jump on this, where I've started with individuals and we both grew together, and I helped you get to another, elevated to another level financially and spiritually and physically. And then when you get busy, now you forget about me. But remember when we both started together?
Yeah.
Why not help the helping hand? I mean, it comes down to like certain situations where, like, during the winter, my business is very slow, right? My industry slows down dramatically.
Yeah.
But the ones that feed me through the winter, and then in the summertime, they also boom. I still prioritize them because through the winter they feed me. So my loyalty is to them. Again, you get humbled down by God, you get humbled down by the industry, you get humbled down by the economy, where you get put in a position where you're gonna have to reflect on certain things and be like, oh shit, that was the guy. Fuck, I made a mistake. I should really, apologize and come back to that.
And loyalty is something you can't even pay for.
No,
It just comes
bro.
naturally.
Naturally,
right?
that's natural. That's organically for us. And you know the slogan, loyalty over royalty, and that's what we live by.
That's that's something my friends say a lot.
Yes,
Loyalty
yes.
over royalty. But
Right. And what does that mean to you, for example? Loyalty over royalty. What does that stand
for
for
me,
you?
like the royalties, flashy stuff, the
Okay.
bling, the money, and
Yes.
everything. Loyalty is just it comes naturally.
Yes.
It's not something you can buy
No,
ever, right?
no.
Like
And for us, see, loyalty over royalty means, we're loyal to the brand, we're loyal to each other, and we can't buy it. So royalty, you can throw a flashy car on us, and nobody's gonna turn and bite.
Yeah.
Meaning nobody's gonna follow that situation. We're gonna stay loyal to each other because we know at the end of the tunnel there's gonna be all that times 10.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't buy Wraptors, you can't buy my guys, you can't buy me. Right, you can't buy my soul, you can't buy my fucking attitude, you can't buy my vision. It's just organically, if we click, we click. That's all it is.
And that literally speaks to the clients. I think that's why you guys blew up, the way
Yes.
you did. Because a lot of
Worldwide.
people, they'd rather do a cheap work, something.
Yes.
We'll do a wrap for like 200, 300
Right,
bucks,
right,
but it's
right.
not the quality.
No,
And that's like something you can't really buy.
No.
Quality speaks
speaks
louder than,
volume. That's right. That's right.
So I think that's something you guys really
Yes,
did. That
yes.
made you guys stick out. Right?
Well, why'd you tell the people how you heard about Raptors? That was a cool
So
story. man.
I heard about Wraptors. I was a little kid, little jet, like probably like I was think grade 7.
10 years ago.
10
so
years
think
ago, I
about
was a
that,
little kid, and they had this BRZ. It was wrapped in purple, and it had the Raptors logo on it. The Toronto Raptors, the Raptor
Yeah.
holding the ball, Vince Carter era. And I don't know, it's spelled differently. It was a Wraptors. And I was like, what the heck? And I used to go there just to go look at that car because it was parked there in Mayfield and Dixie.
Okay, yeah.
At the dealerships. And I used to go bike to that Tim Hortons. I used to go see that car all the time. And I asked my dad, I'm like, oh, why they spell it wrong? And he explained it, like, they wrap cars. So he was like, unique twist on it, right?
Allow you here, interview the biggest.
Yeah, I know, like, it's a full circle moment, right? I went from seeing that car to now speaking to the man behind that car, right?
Right.
So I think that's like one of my fondest memories with the brand.
That's amazing.
So,
I thank you for that, bro. That's actually, for me, that means a lot, man. Yeah. That's cool.
I remember I bought Need for Speed Heat right after the video game, and I created like a BRZ similar to that.
You did, eh?
Oh, turned out like shit, but I still tried. But that's something that really stuck with me for your brand. I think that's something that sticks with a lot of people when it comes to you as an individual. I
appreciate it.
You let your work speak for you.
Yes.
And not only that, when somebody speaks to you in general, like you never try to outshine them.
No.
It's always level.
Of course, always low, bro.
You think that's something the kids need to pick up on, especially nowadays?
Man, I hope so. I hope so, bro. I mean, again, I'm trying to preach to like the youngins, right? But they're so fucking aggressive these days, bro. Even the TikTok, they just go. Everybody just comes with punches right away, and I never understood that, bro. Because me, I always was positive, right? Like even like go back to my first podcast. I was talking about how I used to, because I grew up in Ottawa, and I used to drive down to Toronto, and the culture was a little different, obviously back then, but 15, 17, 20 years ago, I would, walk down on King Street West and see young guys like yourself in a Ferrari or a Lambo or a Bentley, whatever the case might have been. I would look at them, I get inspired, right? I'd be like, oh shit, that's so cool. Oh my God, look at this, look at that. But a lot of these guys will look at it from a different angle and be like, oh yeah, look at that clown, bro. I'm gonna rob him. Or from another angle, oh, look at that F-boy. He's probably his daddy's money. How are you as a man? Can you not? Why can you give flowers to another man and be like, "Yo, that's sick, bro"?
Yeah, I think that's something,
right?
It comes down to masculinity. I
right?
think that's something like people just are grown up on.
Yeah, right. So to me, I just don't understand how are you growing up to have such a toxic mindset to shit on another man.
Yeah.
Why would you not cheer for another guy and be like, "Yo, that's success, bro. I can't wait for me to be in that position." Run up to him, give him dubs. You know what I mean? Show him love and show him respect. You'd be like, "Bro, when I see you next in the next year, I'm gonna be in the same car, right?" But these boys, they'll look at like some weird stuff, bro. Oh, yo, throw some punches, and it's like, bro, but that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
That don't even hurt me, because look where I'm at, look where you are. What do you like? It's a lot more feasible for you to reach out to me on a positive vibes, because I can teach you a lesson. I can show you some. Maybe we can go grab a coffee in the Aventador or the yours or whatever, or one of the Rolls Royces, and we can chop it up and you level up rather than you going and throwing shots at me.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, especially nowadays, people are also envious of another man for having success, right?
And I could never understand it, bro. Yeah. So if I can teach the youth, your generation, why?
Yeah.
Bro, give flowers where and show respect where it's due. The men work so hard to come from a same position you're in, probably even worse, and in the worst circumstances and the worst times than you do, that had no resources, no family backbone, no resources as internet and everything else, and be able to come to the top and still show love and gratitude, and you're gonna shit on that? I don't get that, bro. That's what hurts me. I just don't understand how the culture is so corrupted and so intrigued by hurting and bullying and cyberbullying other individuals. Again, you can say whatever you want. I know what I'm worth. I'm in a position where I'm good. I don't care what your words. They're never gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
Right? And if you are gonna come disrespecting, come see my facility. I'm here in Mississauga. I got 16 locations. You can catch me anywhere, and we can have a conversation face to face, man to man, and we can, really get to a levels of respect.
Yeah.
Right? But again, a lot of these guys, this guy's a tough guy. All these guys trying to be this, why, bro? I'm not. I'm actually just super, and you know me, right? Yeah. I'm showing love to you. I'm super good. This cigar, okay, cool. It's just for the video, bro. I'm just here lighting it up, trying to be cool too, right? Yeah. But anyways, a long story short, the mindset is everything.
Yeah.
And you know this because you're not sharing. You're able to get time with me to sit down and talk to me, and me give you the game. Because a lot of these guys, the minds are so corrupted, they're focusing on the negative, and that's what the negative around them is happening.
Yeah.
Right? Focus on the positive, flourish and grow, and you can get to the next level.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I don't know why, like kids my age especially, they look at another man and they're like, oh, that's such an unrealistic outcome, right? Because there's nothing different between you and
Nothing.
me. At the
No.
end of the day, you came from nothing. You made it very
Yes.
obvious, right?
Yes.
But now you're posting it more, so
Yes.
people are seeing what you have.
That's it.
At the end of the day,
That's
there's
it.
nothing different,
No.
different between me and you.
I'm just showcasing it. I'm just showing you that it's possible. Again, I got full-time camera guys with me at all times. They record, they showcase
Yeah.
my life, my status, and what I do and how I do it and whatever else in between. I was in the same fucking boat as everybody else, even worse, like I tell you. So, for us to, we should be supporting each other, growing as a community, growing as humans, growing as men, and becoming more manly, and taking control and taking advices, because you have so much access. Again, you have YouTube. You can just type in the chat GPT, how do I make $1 million? I want to have an Aventador by age 24. Bro, chat GPT will tell you a fucking guideline. You got to listen to Mr. Wraptors. They'll tell you everything you got to do to get there.
Yeah.
You have access that I never had. So, you have fucking age difference, so you have more time to get a lot more successful than me in a lot quicker time.
And not only that, I think, a lot of business owners, they always say one thing: struggle early on, reap the rewards later on, right?
Of course.
So I think, like, what's something that you think, like,
That
you think
means
that's important to
you just
people or
touched
not?
down on that. That's exactly it, bro. If you start early, you can get to the success a lot quicker. I mean, you've seen these online guys. A lot of it obviously is fake and stuff, but a lot of these guys have SVJs. A lot of these guys have beautiful houses. They have multiple income streams. They have multiple houses and investment properties. So why not?
Yeah.
Why not you?
Yeah.
Right? So it just again comes down to the mindset. Oh, I'm depressed. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We're in Canada, super fucking hard than the United States. We're in Canada. The support system from your parents and your friends is completely different. Yes, we're in Canada. The support system from the government and the taxation is completely fucked up. But again, it comes down to you, bro. So all these struggles against you and all that force that coming against you is going to build you so much more stronger. So when you do go to the United States, you go to Europe, you're so much more fucking stronger and more dominant than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because we have so much against us and constantly putting us in a cage, that when you do come on top, bro, you're stronger than everybody else.
It makes you more resilient.
More resilient, bro. That's the right word right there. So, they say a lot of times New York and Toronto, they're very close, right? And in terms of like how we are, right? But New Yorkers, bro, you can bring a New Yorker, and I said this for a million years already, bro. You can bring a guy from New York, he'll find 101 ways to make money here in Canada, because they're hustlers. They're organic. They're in tune with money. They're in tune with success. They'll find ways to make money out of anything and everything.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, like, bro, everybody's got an opportunity. Everybody can make it to the top very quickly.
Yeah. So, you've seen kids my age, kids younger than me, kids older than me, right? What's one thing you think that makes your generation stand out in terms of entrepreneurship compared to the generation coming up?
I think we're just more of a man, bro. I mean, because again, we were going against a lot of odds for us not to succeed. Younger generation, I guess the access to money is a lot more quicker, a lot more easier, and but at the same time, your generation is not it's not in tune with the world, bro. It's not in tune with values, what real values are.
Yeah.
Right. I think you guys are losing that, and respect to the elders, respecting your parents and everything else around that. It's just, I feel like the younger generation is just a lot more wilder, bro. They're just fucking out there doing the most just to get a dollar, and they think materialistic thing is what gonna get them to the top, and they're gonna be happier. But it's not. When you get certain things in life, you understand that those are not values. Being in tune with God is really what really going to set you apart. When you're in tune with God and you pray, and you give back, it really sets you to a freedom, gives you internal happiness. So you start understanding that these are cool, but these are tools. These are not what's going to separate you and make you happier. These are just to open up doors to a next level and to give back a certain way. So yeah, man.
You think your religion and your faith plays a big part in who you are as an individual?
I think so. I think so. But again, I wasn't that before, right? It started gradually getting to that position through a lot of hard times, a lot of things in my life that happened. It got me to understand, man, I'm really blessed. There was a time in place when I was in Miami, and my wife and my kids, everybody left back to Canada. And I was laying on the bed and I was looking outside the window, and I was living by the ocean, right? So I'm looking at all the yachts. One of the yachts is mine, and I'm laying there and I'm crying, and I'm not crying out of pain. I'm crying out of joy, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, yo, like how the fuck did you get here, bro?
Yeah.
Right? Like this is insane. Like this wasn't a plan.
Yeah.
This was crazy to me. So I'm laying there and I'm thinking about my wife. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about, you know, my two Rolls Royces downstairs, my Aventador downstairs, and I'm like, holy shit, this is all real. This is insane. And again, I was just so thankful.
Yeah.
So being thankful and being in tune with God, I think is very important. I think it has a lot to do with your success.
Yeah. Showing that gratitude to God.
Gratitude is huge.
It always comes back to you.
Yes.
100-fold.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of kids in my age, a lot of kids in general that want to be entrepreneurs, they don't believe in God nowadays.
Yes.
Well, what would you have to say to those kids?
What would I say to them? I mean, I can't really say much, man. I mean, every man and every woman is gonna come to a realization, and they're gonna come to a time and place where they're gonna have to decide either the left or the right, right? And God's gonna show them ways, and it's gonna be up to them to decide which journey they want to take. I just feel like when the heart is pure and the heart is open, and you're chasing the right things in life, not materialistic things, not financial gain, God is gonna show Himself to you, and it's gonna open up a lot of doors. But to say this is to say that you really just gotta try it out. Try it, really just talk to Him, let Him talk back to you, and really just listen, right? And then you're gonna get some answers that you were searching for.
Yeah. So it's just everything, stars align, and the universe provides.
Exactly.
Thing, right?
Everything just comes back in such a flourishing way, such a beautiful way, where you're just gonna be, you're just gonna not know where this is all, why it's all aligning. But looking back, you'll understand that that prayer, that question that you had for Him, it really just came true.
Yeah, it was beautifully put, man. Honestly. So a lot of kids they like to chase a dollar instead of make a dollar.
Yeah.
Right? So were you ever in a situation where you used to just chase a dollar instead of making a dollar?
I was, bro. Again, me growing up, in the hood. I mean, you didn't really have much. You had a TV that you're looking at the Wraptors and you're thinking, oh, that's where you want to be. All I did was chase dollars, but I didn't chase dollars to buy certain things and be cool. Obviously, all kids wanted to have nice shoes and cool clothes and chains, whatever. I was chasing to provide for my mother, right? I was chasing to provide for the household. I had bigger visions.
Yeah.
My goals and my journey started purely to take care of my mom, to buy her a car. That was the first objective. Second objective, to buy her a house. And the third objective, to create my own family, right?
Yeah.
So these are pinnacle points in my life, what I did every single day to get to. So everything I was doing, it wasn't to go to the club, let's pop a bottle, let's fuck a bad bitch. No, it was like, yo, I'm going to the streets, I'm going to war, I'm gonna go hustle, I'm gonna go do what I gotta do, legally and legally, is to be able to bring the money back so I can pay the bills and I can save enough money to go buy her a car.
Yeah.
Right? So when you have the right purpose, doors open up differently for you.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, the younger generation, they're like, yo, I'm trying to do ABC, do a little Bitcoin here, do a little gambling here, do a little here, so I can buy myself a McLaren. But that's not the goal, bro.
Yeah.
That's look at taking care of your brother and sister, taking care of your friends, taking care of your mom and dad. When that becomes an objective and it becomes a purpose and becomes a vision and the goal, things align and you start becoming a different man. When you chase materialistic shit, you're gonna feel empty inside because it's not fulfillment. That's just fulfillment for a few hours, few days, few months. But then you want bigger and better. Yeah. Oh, okay, I got a McLaren. Now I got to make more money to wrap it. Oh, now I want 4Giada rims. Oh, now I got to get myself a sexy girlfriend. Oh, now I want the guys to look at me. I got to get, in shape. Or now I want a chain. Or you just constantly, you want more. It's just organically, that's how us as humans are, right? But when you're chasing a purpose, like, yo, I want to get a car so I can open up doors to get more money so I can buy my mom and take her out the hood and buy her a house and pay her for the whole year salary so she doesn't have to go to work. That's respect, bro.
Yeah.
That's the tough part. Getting a car ain't fucking tough. Going beefing with a homie on the streets is not tough, but being able to take your mom out a position where she doesn't have to work, that's tough.
Yeah. So looking back at your life, would you say, you're fulfilled based off everything you've
Million
done?
percent. And imagine asking yourself that question, or anybody here asking,
Yeah.
are you fulfilled? Right?
Yeah.
99% of us will say no. I'm fully, transparently fulfilled. Everything I can die tomorrow and I can say, holy fuck, I've attained everything I ever dreamed about. I've done everything I ever wanted. I blessed as many people as I can. I did everything I want. Maybe I would want to spend more time with my kids, but everything else in between, I'm pure satisfied. I can look myself in the mirror and be like, yo, you're a good fucking dude.
Yeah.
I can say proudly, and again, not many of us can say you would want your daughter to date a man like yourself. I would.
Yeah.
I'm happy with who I am. I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of where I am as a man because I've never fucked anybody over for $1.
Yeah.
You understand me? And not everybody can say that. I've never done anyone dirty to get on top. I've always lived on true belief systems and being on 10 toes down, being true to myself. And not everybody can say that, bro.
Yeah.
Right? So me being fulfilled, 1,000,000%. Super happy.
Yeah.
Everything I have, everything I've done, everything in between.
Yeah, that was honestly a very, nicely put. It was very
Right?
beautiful. I gotta say,
Thank you, bro.
you
And
know-
again, I wish for every viewer, every man here around us right now to be able to, my son sitting right there, being able to be fulfilled and be happy to where they are in life, bro. And again, at age 39 now, I can say proudly, yo, I'm fucking good. I love it. I love my life. I love what I've attained and everything I got and all the struggles I went through and the struggles I'm going through right now. I love it. It's beautiful for me right now.
So for the people watching,
Yes.
At home, on TikTok, YouTube,
Yes.
whoever it is,
Yeah.
Based off this conversation, what's one thing you really hope for them to learn, about you more as an individual off this
To
conversation?
learn about me, I mean, I don't want you to learn anything about me. I want you to learn, the struggles I went through and become better. But going back to the topic we touched down on is just giving flowers where it's due to the man that deserves it, bro. Just don't shit on another man because you don't know what he had to go through. You don't know what kind of demons he had to fight and how hard and how much weight his shoes really are, how much pain he had to go through to get to where he is, and how much sacrifice he had to give. You don't know. Everything looks good on the gram. Everything looks good on TikTok, but you don't know what the man went through a couple hours ago, right? You don't know that he might have just finished work, putting in after hours. Now he's at another job and making it look pretty for you on the camera, right? You don't know. He might have got dumped by his girlfriend after 5 years, that she betrayed him and cheated on him. You don't know that his mother passed away from cancer a few months back or a couple of days ago, and he's smiling on the camera. You don't know the reality of what really the pain points the guys are going through on the other end. You don't know the type of fights that he has to go through, because us as men, naturally, we don't open up, right? So him chasing the dream that he's chasing, all odds against him. So why would you shit on him and hurt him along the way as well? Cheer for the guy, bro. Show him respect and say, yo, you got this, bro. You got this. I believe in you. Right? That gives a lot more value than you shitting on him.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Honestly, that was really well, put together in terms of how you said it.
Yes.
So if you have one piece of advice, call it a quote even, what would you say right now for people watching this, for kids that want to be like you, want to be in your shoes? What's something you'd just tell them?
What I would tell them is, listen to your inner self. Listen to inner self, because that's when you're in tune with God, and God speaks through you, through your heart, right? So let go of this, because this can get you in weird positions and weird places. If you listen to this and you're in tune with this, and you stand in your business, you're gonna get places. But it's hard to listen to this when you don't know what's right and wrong. You really gotta understand who you are, where you're going, and really just being tuned with again, bad and good. give back, feed your soul with positivity. Everything is in the mindset. If you can control this into a positivity and listen to this, endless opportunities, and you're gonna go places.
Yeah, it's perfect. So this is it. I think this is the end of the conversation.
Cool.
Thank you so much,
brother.
my man.
Yes, sir.
For
Pleasure,
this.
pleasure.
And for those who are watching, this is the main man, Mr. Wraptors himself.
Yes.
The king of rapping.
Let's go.
Good.
Thank you. Oh, there you go. My guy's over there. Let's go.